Hey guys, this week I am back to share all my tips about backpacking through Mexico. These tips will make it easier for you to plan your next trip to Mexico, and I will also be talking about the budget that you will need for this trip. Let's start with the best time to travel to Mexico. The two most popular national holidays of Mexico are the National Independence Day on the 16th of September and Dia de los Muertos at the start of November. Both actually fall in the rainy season, which is not the best season to travel to Mexico. September is the hurricane season, which really affects the weather in general, obviously rainy season as well. So if you do decide to travel in this period, make sure to keep an eye out on the weather forecast and also the local news, because I got stuck in floods multiple times, once in Tula, and the same day I was in the earthquake in Mexico City, and also on Isla Holbox. So do keep that in mind. If you can avoid this time of year, then I advise you to travel during the driest months, which are December to April. Obviously, during these months, I advise to avoid the Christmas holidays and the Easter holidays. During Carnival, there are a lot of nice festivities that you can witness. Especially February is a really good month. The water of the waterfalls are beautiful turquoise blue. The monarch butterflies return and you can see them with thousands migrating. The whales and whale sharks are abundant along the west coast. In March, everyone gathers at Chichen Itza, the world wonder, for the equinox. So 1 week before and 1 week after the equinox, you will be able to see a shadow of the serpent going down the temple, which is one of the reasons why it's a world wonder. This also happens in autumn, but obviously that's the rainy season then. So I would recommend you travel from mid-January until March. Once you have decided when to go, it is time to decide where to go. And in my previous video, I went through 3 different itineraries and all the best places that you can't miss. I will link all the vlogs that I mentioned in the description below so you can check them out. And then how do you get from one place to the next? Yes, you can take domestic flights. They are quite cheap, but it is often a lot less time consuming and polluting to just take a long distance bus. These are really comfortable and go to pretty much every single city in Mexico. I traveled only by bus when I was in Mexico and I highly recommend it. Also, the public transportation is really good. In Mexico City you have a metro. You can use this metro bus card to go around the city. You can use it on metros, on buses, etc. But what are the main long distance bus companies? Well, everything north of Mexico City you can do with Primera Plus. Everything south you can take an ADO or you can go by Ahorro Bus. This is for the more budget buses and they give you like extra credit. Every time you put money on the card they give extra money, which is a bargain. Another great way to travel is with BlaBlaCar. This is an app that is used for carpooling. So you just enter your location and your destination and then rides will pop up that people are offering with their own car. Usually it's cheaper than the bus and also more comfortable. I always had the loveliest drivers. They write you a review afterwards to recommend you as a passenger, and honestly, if I have a bad day, I can just read back my reviews from BlaBlaCar and I will instantly feel good because of the lovely comments they left me. I've had some great chats. Also, the roads are great and the landscapes are incredible. Honestly, you don't punish me with driving around Mexico for 5 hours. Like, there is so much to see. In the bigger cities, there will be Uber as well, and I use that whenever I can. It is really affordable, and you know the price as soon as you book it. But also the regular taxis, the prices are quite good. And a lot of the times when I had a price in mind to ask the driver, I asked them like how many, and they would already go even lower than the price I had in mind. Not always, but most of the time, yeah. Okay, so now we know when to go, where to go, and how to get there. And the next big thing is accommodation. If you are a budget traveler like me, I recommend you to download the Hostel World app. This is an app which collects all the different hostels around the world. They show you the reviews, they show you the location, and it is super easy to find the best hostel around. I always booked a couple of days in advance, or sometimes even the day before, and I never got into trouble. There was always availability. Most backpackers just go with the flow and book whenever they are ready to go to the next place. My favorite hostel in all of Mexico was Ticuchi in Oaxaca City. The facilities were amazing and the atmosphere was so good. I had so much fun there. Aside from BlaBlaCar, Uber and Hostel World, I recommend you to also download the app maps.me in case you don't have any data signal and you need to know where you are or where to go. And I also have the XE currency app so that I can convert the local price to my own currency, which is really helpful. To be able to use all these apps during your stay, I recommend you to buy a SIM card of the company Telcel. They have great affordable data packages. And they include unlimited social media. Whenever I had a question or needed a travel companion, I would go to the Backpacking Mexico Facebook group. This group is great for any questions that you have whilst planning your trip, but also once you're there, you get updated on things that are open or not, on the weather, people's reviews of stuff. So it has so many tips, and if you're in need, they will help you out. I posted on there to go to Xochimilco, which is the boats on the canals in Mexico City, because it's a lot more fun if you can do it in a group. And I got a whole group together to go, and it was so much fun. How much money will you need to travel through Mexico? I made a spreadsheet of everything that I spent during my 2.5 months in Mexico. If you, like me, are a backpacker who is a budget traveler, but you also give in to good food, have some drinks every now and then, and do all the good excursions, then this will be an estimate that you can apply as well. So you know more or less what to budget. On transportation, I spent €7 a day on average. This is excluding the flight, obviously. Many days I wouldn't spend anything or barely anything, but every couple of days I would take a long distance bus. For accommodation, I spent about €9 a night on average. Often this would include breakfast, not always, but for example in San Cristobal de las Casas, I stayed at the hostel Puerta Vieja, and there they even included dinner and free cocktails twice a week. And that was all for €8 a night. Unbelievable. On food, I spent on average €12 a day. You can definitely spend less on food. As you might have seen from all the vlogs, I made it my mission to try everything. And I had a lot of snacks. So much so that my friends and family were very concerned about my health. And I can tell you, I've gained a couple of kilos, which I'm not mad about, and I am still feeling good. I mean, people don't even notice the difference. Like my uncle said, like, I thought you would have gained so much more weight. You still look the same. So the damage is minimal. So for the €12 a day, you will definitely have plenty of food, and you can even do it with less. Food on the local markets is super cheap. For example, in San Cristobal de las Casas, you could go to a wine bar and for a bit more than €1, you would get a glass of wine and a tapas. Unbelievable. On activities, I would spend €8 a day on average. A lot of the days I didn't do anything. The cheapest ruins I visited cost less than €3, and the most expensive ones cost 10 times as much. That was Chichen Itza, but it also included the guide. And €30, like for us, for a world wonder, isn't even that much anyways. So you can see how it differs a lot from day to day, but on average it was €8. In Chiapas, the excursions were mad value for money. And in Yucatan and Quintana Roo, they were so expensive. Well, I say so expensive, it was just a lot more expensive than I was used to from Chiapas, etc. But then again, it was really easy to just do them by ourselves and go there with public transportation. So we saved a lot of money doing that. I also had some extra costs like mosquito repellent, doing my laundry, etc. But it's so little that it's not even worth the mention. My daily average was €36 a day, including transportation, accommodation, activities, and food. I also included having drinks and going out as an activity, so that is not counted in the food, but just as a fun activity. So it comes down to about €1,000 a month, which is about half of what it costs to live in Europe. Some other random tips that I have left are where to buy the best souvenirs. Mainly in San Cristobal de las Casas, they have incredible artisan markets with so much choice, so many beautiful things, like this beautiful purse that I bought, because remember, I lost the wallet. In Chichen Itza, there are a lot of vendors as well, and they sell everything for $1. So a lot of cheap souvenirs there as well. And of course, you can go to any local market to find the local souvenirs. Okay, as I'm sitting here, the woodpecker is climbing up the tree in front of me. Let me see if I can get him on camera. How cute, he just wanted to say hi. My favorite beaches were Sayulita on the west coast, and the Caribbean beaches are really beautiful. Especially Isla Holbox, you can walk so far into the water. The water is so beautifully clear and turquoise blue. My favorite pyramids, obviously you have to go to the world wonder Chichen Itza. Close by, near Mérida, are the ruins of Uxmal. They are still very decorated and there are a lot of different temples. The complex is really big, so I really love that. Also the ruins in Chiapas, mainly Yaxchilan, which you go to by boat, is such an experience because they are in the middle of the jungle. People say that Calakmul in Campeche, which you can visit from Bacalar, is also really impressive because it's located in the jungle. So yeah, I would say those are my favorites. But in my top 5, I would definitely include Monte Alban in Oaxaca and also Teotihuacan near Mexico City. Favorite cities are without a doubt Campeche. I really love Guanajuato. It is the most colorful city out of all of them. And I love Mexico City. Mainly because of the food, but also because there is so much to do there. Some food that you can't miss is the fish tacos, especially in Puerto Escondido from Fish Shack. Oh my goodness, I would have those every single day for breakfast, lunch and dinner, not even exaggerating. I really like the marquesitas from the south, which are these thin waffles that they fill up with whatever you want, especially the cajeta, the goat caramel, which I even brought back home, and I have been eating all my waffles and crepes here. I love the tacos in Mexico City, the tacos canasta, and obviously the tacos al pastor, which are the Mexican dish. I love enchiladas. I really like the molotes from Puebla. They were chef's kiss and so affordable. In Mexico City, I had the most amazing breakfasts. The bakeries there are insane, and the iced cappuccinos are some of the best I've had in my life. You're probably wondering, Sarah, weren't you sick of the Mexican food after 2.5 months? No. I kept eating tacos. I kept eating all the Mexican food, and even coming home, I realized that I'm still having a wrap for lunch. And when we had fish sticks, I was like, damn it, I could have made a fish taco out of this. And I'm still snacking on the Mexican candy that was left over from the snack tasting video. So yeah, I just keep going. I will never get sick of Mexican food. I was also asked some questions. One of them was, why do you travel alone? Wouldn't you like to have some company? Actually, I've had a lot of company. If I was alone, it's because I wanted to be alone and because I found it easier to just vlog and do my own thing. And other times when I did more voiceovers and stuff, it's because I was with a lot of other people and I didn't want to talk to my camera. So I think it was very balanced. I would even say that I was with people more than I was alone. Obviously, staying in hostels, you meet a lot of people, often you go to the same things. And a lot of the time when I was with people and I did talk to the camera, I just wouldn't include them because it's my decision to put my face on camera and I never really want to force anyone to also do it. And I'm often too shy to ask them to get involved, also because I don't want to push them or make them feel like they have no other choice, you know? But yeah, I definitely haven't been alone that much. My friends also asked me if I was able to be in the moment as I was filming everything. But if anything, I was even more in the moment, and you're having these amazing experiences and saving them for later. I can watch them all back and it'll be like reliving it again. So I definitely enjoyed it and I'll be able to enjoy it for years to come. You might also be wondering if you can go to Mexico if you don't speak Spanish. You can, but I would definitely recommend you to take some basic Spanish classes. Knowing Spanish has definitely saved me in a couple of situations, like the floods in Tula, when there was no cell service. I couldn't even see where I was or how to get anywhere. Also, when I had my accident in Isla Holbox, I could communicate with the pharmacist really easily and she could explain to me exactly how I had to take care of myself. So I highly recommend you take some classes. You can even take them whilst you're there. Another common question is if I got paid, and I didn't get paid this time around, but I will get paid for my next trips. My next video will probably be the getting ready for that trip and the announcement of what the project will entail. So if you don't want to miss out on that, make sure to subscribe, like, and hit the bell notification so that you don't miss any of the next projects that are coming up. The destinations that are following in the upcoming months are so good. Some of them not a lot of people go, and others are some of the biggest bucket list destinations on one of my favorite continents. Woo! Exciting! So subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!